Hello students, my name is Dr. Bethany Fleck and you are taking Cognitive Development and Learning online. This video is going to walk you through the syllabus and through some places in Blackboard so you're really familiar with the course. On the top of your syllabus here, which I have pulled up, you will see my information and my office hours. Please note that each semester these office hours change, and so you'll want to look at your syllabus for the semester that you're in. Now this course is online. If you're taking it in the summer, it's going to be an 8-week class. If you're taking it in the fall or the spring, it's most likely going to be a 16-week class. Online learning is a lot different than in-class learning, and so I want you to be aware that you will have to work really hard, think really hard, and this will be pretty time-consuming and cognitively demanding. We have a lot of information that we have to cover, and online courses, they're really not for everyone. So I put that out there now. If you're up for this challenge, I'm thrilled. I'm excited to work with you, and I look forward to meeting you. Okay, so before we go any further, I say right here on your syllabus, please email me if and when you have questions. That is our major way or form that we're going to be in contact with one another. And so don't hesitate to shoot me an email. Okay, I recommend that you print out your syllabus and you have a copy of it rather than just having the digital form. This can really help to make sure that you don't lose any due dates or course information. You always have it right there accessible with you. Just a suggestion. On your first page of the syllabus, you're going to see the course description. This talks about what we're going to examine in the course. Namely human cognitive development and learning. We're going to look at language acquisition, literacy acquisition, development of scientific math skills, the effects of formal schooling on cognition or thought. And here are your prerequisites. So developmental educational psychology and general psychology. Your required text and technology are listed here. We use the Burns book, Cognitive Development and Learning in Instructional Contexts. You can get that at the bookstore, of course, online. And then we're going to be using Blackboard Learn. So here is a training to Blackboard Learn that I want you to do if you're unfamiliar or if you need a little refresher. So if I click on this, it should bring me to all of the online trainings that exist and face-to-face trainings. And so you can go ahead and register here. Not being familiar with Blackboard, which is our course platform, won't be an excuse if you're missing any work. So you really want to make sure that you know exactly where, when, and how to access the information in the class. I've pulled up our Blackboard course right here so you can see the home page. On the left-hand side, we have all of our tabs. There's a lot of information right here. Things will appear, alerts, to-dos, all of this. Really look for emails from me. I'll email you all the time with reminders and course information. Okay, so you can find within these tabs, you should go exploring, but I am going to show you some of these aspects too. You can find all the course information here. The next portion of your syllabus are the course objectives, and I'm going to cover those quickly, but you can read through them in more detail. In this course, we want to identify the current and historical theories of cognitive development. We want to define and outline cognitive development theories and developmentally appropriate practices. We want to demonstrate the ability to apply, analyze, and synthesize cognitive development theories in a K through 12 classroom. You're going to want to analyze and critique developmentally appropriate practices, as well as evaluate which pedagogical methods are most appropriate to use with children of various cognitive abilities. You're going to want to synthesize knowledge of the development of thinking in different content domains. And finally, we want to demonstrate the ability to work collaboratively with your peers. Within each of these course objectives, you can see the way that they're going to be assessed. So you want to pay attention to those. Okay, in this course, I have some expectations for you, and you can have some expectations for me. So for student expectations, I'd like you to be active and participate, listen and respect your peers, be comfortable taking some risks, especially in our discussions. You're going to want to dive into some of these topics. Complete all your assignments, be punctual when you're turning in your work, discuss the class through email, or you can always come to see me during office hours, and be prepared by reading all of the assignments prior to any assessments. Now there are things that you can expect of me as well. I'll be active and enthusiastic, and I'll work to facilitate your learning. I'll listen and respect your views. I'll be available via email and during my office hours. I will do my very best to respond as quickly as I can to your concerns. I will grade objectively, consistently, and timely, and you can always ask me questions if you don't agree with something. I'll be prepared for class, even in the online situation, and I will accommodate any students that need so based on Access Center documentation. Here are some key suggestions for your success in the class. Okay, remember, again, if you have questions, comments, suggestions, anything, speak up. Let me know. I can't see you. We're not in a physical face-to-face environment, so you're going to need to email me, call me, or come to my office. To be a successful scholar in this class, here are some tips that I think you should consider. The first one is to decide in the first week when you're going to work on this course and stick with that schedule. Number 2 is to complete the ARQs before the quizzes. We'll talk about what ARQs are in just a minute. Number 3, study old quizzes for your final exam. That's a really big hint or clue. Number 4, if you have technical difficulties, you're going to want to talk to me immediately or talk to IT. The IT department is really better. I'm not that technologically savvy. I can try to help, but I might be pushing you over to them. Course communication, I've already touched on this. You're going to want to email me. You should email my primary email address, bfleck2@msudenver. However, you could also use the Blackboard function. My policy is to respond to emails within 24 to 36 hours. Guys, sometimes I'm quicker than that, but sometimes I'm not. Right now I have a 3-month-old baby at home, and so it's really kind of hard. But I am dedicated to being super available to you, and so I have that 24 to 36 hour window. Okay, the last tip here is to let me know right away if there's anything that I can help you with. Don't hesitate, don't wait, because you might miss a deadline, and as you'll see, those deadlines can be super important for your success. Let's talk now about course responsibilities. There are readings and lessons in this class. Prior to each class, it's essential that you read the material that's outlined on your course schedule. So these are your chapters in your book. You're responsible for the material in your text, and your understanding of it will most definitely be assessed. In addition to the readings, there are PowerPoint slide lessons for each chapter, and you can find these in the Course Content tab on Blackboard. So let me show you. Over here on Blackboard, we have the course content. You'll click on this link, and here you have each of the chapters. So we can just go into chapter 2 as an example, and here you're going to notice the Piaget lesson. If I click on this, it's going to download a PowerPoint file. I can open it quickly, and you can see what those lessons look like. Now, these PowerPoint lessons alone are not enough. These are just really notes to help facilitate the learning. You're really going to have to be active in your reading of the chapter material. Okay, the next course responsibility are the cognitive developmental discussions. These discussions are designed to take headlines from the news and relate them to cognitive development and its application to the real world. Now, there are 4 discussions. I'm going to only take your best 3 out of the 4 to count for your grade for the course. To do well in the discussions, you have to incorporate what you've learned through thoughtful comments. So serious participation, guys, is required for credit. This also means responding to at least 2 of your other classmates, and that's by the due date on your course calendar. In your post, you need to provide at least 1 citation and the associated reference for that citation in APA format. Okay, this needs to come from a scientific peer-reviewed source or an academic book. So it needs to be a real scholarly source, not a Wikipedia, nothing like that. Okay. The discussions are found in the email and discussion tab on Blackboard. Each discussion is worth 33.3 points. And again, I take your best 3, and this gives you a total of 100 points for the course. So over here on Blackboard, we come over to the email and discussion tab, and this is where you're going to see the discussion board. I can click this, and I can see all of the discussions. There's an introduction post, discussion 1, discussion 2, discussion 3. You would just enter here to discussion 1, and you would click create thread, and then this will give you the opportunity to enter the subject and to answer your question. and then hit submit. Okay, another huge piece of this course is going to be the Constructivism in Animated Films assignment. This is your big paper for the class. One of the major themes here is to emphasize the constructivist approach to teaching, and you're going to hear and see all about that throughout the material. This project is going to give everybody the chance to develop, apply, and synthesize cognitive developmental theories to modern media, in this case an animated film. You can choose a common animated film. You're going to critique it, synthesize it based on your knowledge of cognitive development theory, and you're going to submit that. Now, here are some quick pointers here in your syllabus. You're going to use the assignments tab. I'll show you where that is. The paper is 200 points. This is a lot. So you're going to want to follow the grading rubric, follow the description, which is found at the back of this syllabus. The paper is due halfway through the semester, not at the end of the semester, so keep that in mind. Okay, if it's an 8-week class, you're going to be submitting this around week 4. If this is a 16-week class, around week 8. So first, let me show you where it lives in Blackboard. You can go to Assignments, and then at the bottom of the assignments, you're going to notice your paper, Constructivism in Animated Films. So all of the information about the paper, including the grading rubric, and this information is also found at the end of your syllabus. Please email me if you have questions on the details of the paper. I would enter here, and this is going to give me the ability to upload my paper. You'll see the due date, points possible, and scrolling down, a place to attach your file. You can submit some comments to me if you need, and then you'll hit submit. Okay, active reading questions, ARQs. Instead of typical lecture notes, I have some active reading guides to help you read through the text material in an active way to help you learn. So these questions can be found in each learning module in Blackboard, and I'll show you that in just a moment. There's one set of active reading questions, ARQs, for each chapter in the textbook. The ARQs highlight some of the important aspects of the chapter. They ask you to think about the material in different ways and to additionally seek information online. So to build upon what your book is telling you. It's going to help you focus your attention, clarify your understandings as you progress through the material. So these can be found on the Assignments tab, as well as each chapter within the Course Content tab. What you're going to want to do is download the Word document, type your answers, and then submit in the Assignment tab location. I want you to save your file using the ARQ number and your last name, like this. You're required to turn in all 12 of the ARQs. I'm going to keep your best 10 of the 12. Now each ARQ is worth 15 points, and so this is 150 total course points. So let's look at where you can find these on Blackboard. I can go to the Course Content tab, and I can go into each of those modules. So let's say Chapter 3. And this is where you're going to find ARQ 4 on memory. So I can click that just so I can show you what these look like. Again, it's going to be a download. So we come up to our downloads. ARQ 4 has been downloaded. Here they are. So you would do this. You would download these, and then you would answer each of these questions. Okay? Each of them look a little bit different. They vary in the amount of questions that they have. You'll save it, and then you'll upload it again. So where would you upload it? Here's the Assignments tab. You can access them here too. So for number 4, I can enter this. I can access the ARQ by clicking this link. It'll just download the same way where you can find it in your browser. But this is where you're going to upload it, just like you upload your major paper. So you browse your computer, you attach it, and then you hit submit. There are quizzes in the course. This is the next course responsibility. The content will pertain to the information received since the last quiz, so they match up with the chapters. They're not comprehensive. They cannot be made up unless otherwise approved by me. I'll talk about my makeup policy in a moment. The format varies, so be prepared for lots of different types of questions. 5 to 10 questions each, 15 minutes to complete each quiz. I'm going to take your best 10 out of 12 quizzes. So complete all 12, I'll take the best 10. So you're probably noticing here that you have some freebies built in case something happens. Keep that in mind when we go over the late work policy. The quizzes are found on the Quizzes and Exams tab. Each quiz is 35 points, and since I'm counting 10 of the 12, you're going to have 350 points in the course based on your quizzes. So let's come over here and look where they are. Okay, you can always go into this course content and go into the chapter. So let's just pick chapter 8 here, and you'll see the quiz. Okay, so I'm not going to click on it now because it would open it up, but this is where it lives. You can only open them up the one time. You want to make sure that you have really good internet access, that you're able to dedicate the full 15 minutes to taking the quiz. You can also find them on the quizzes and exams tab here, and they're all listed here. So if I was ready for 8, this is where I would click that. All right. The last course responsibility is your comprehensive exam. It's one cumulative final at the end of the semester. It will assess both higher and lower level learning for the content in the course from the start to the end of the semester. That's what comprehensive is. So you're going to be tested on the information found in the study guide. That's available in the course content tab. So over here, course content. If I go all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see a comprehensive exam folder. You could click on that. And here you have some exam reviews. Okay. You also have a link to your final exam. The exam can be found where I just showed you, or in the quizzes and exams tab over here on Blackboard. It's worth 200 points. It's a lot. And I don't know if you remember, but I gave you a little clue before that you want to study your old quizzes to help you prepare for that cumulative final. All of those course responsibilities will total up to equal 1,000 points in the course, or 100%. So you can see your course grade broken down here. The 10 quizzes at 35 points each equals 350. ARQs, discussions, constructivist theory paper, and comprehensive exam all total 1,000 points. You can keep running tabs of how many points you have using the Grade Center in Blackboard. So yours might look a little different, just so you know. But full Grade Center, or you'll go to My Grades, also that this tab right here, My Grades for Student View. And then what you're going to see is your name. You're going to see all of the aspects of the course here, and they're totaled up for a total value. So that total value will be cumulative, and it'll keep running as the semester continues and as more scores get entered in. If you have any questions about grading, please don't hesitate to ask me. Here's the final grade scale here, and so you can just see the breakdown of how many points you earn, whether you get the A or the B or the C, so on and so forth. Here are some grade policies that are super important that I want to cover with you. I want you to remember that I drop your 2 lowest quiz scores, your 2 lowest ARQ scores, and your lowest discussion score. And so for this reason, late work is not accepted on these course requirements. I'm giving you lots of freebies as it is. So I'm going to highlight this for you. Okay. For your major theory paper, I understand that sometimes life happens and extensions are needed. So if that is the case, please email me, discuss your situation, but note that an extension on your paper will still result in a 5-point deduction each day it's late, and that would include Saturdays and Sundays. Please email me and talk to me if you have any issues or problems. Okay, there are some final course pieces of information that I want to cover with you. I'll let you read these on your syllabus. I just want to draw your attention to them here. The human relations statement, we're not going to engage in any unfair discrimination. ADA compliance, if you are a student that has a special need, please come talk to me. You can email me, you can call me, whatever best suits your needs. And you'll want to be working with the Access Center. There's a link here. I do need documentation if I'm going to make any accommodations for you. Our academic honesty policy is stated, and you have the handbook link here for more information on that. There is a syllabus addendum that's provided by the psychology department for psychology policies and procedures, and I will have that on the course information page on Blackboard for you to look at. All right, here is our course schedule. The first week of class, there's not much due. This is your opportunity to get started on anything and everything. You can work ahead in this course schedule as far as you want. So if you were so motivated, you could complete every single thing on here within the first couple weeks of class, if that was all you did. Otherwise, things will be due on the due dates, and I've already covered late work policies. So Use the time wisely in the first week to get to know the course and the material, to get any questions answered before anything is due. Notice that the due dates for this particular course are on Tuesday and Thursday. Now keep in mind that this might change depending on your syllabus. So look at your course schedule. Every semester things change. Maybe they're going to be due on Wednesdays and Fridays. Maybe it's going to be due on Mondays and Wednesdays. Follow your course schedule. Here, things are due on Tuesday and Thursdays. And so you have the due date column here. You have the reading that's due. So this is the accompanying reading. You have the assignments that are due, and then you have the points that are associated with them. Okay, so in this particular semester, one of the first things that's going to be due is reading the Piaget and the Vygotsky information, Quiz 1, Quiz 2, ARQ1, ARQ2, and this just breaks down the points. All right, you're going to want to follow your course calendar. I do reserve the right to change this schedule as needed. I would never change anything that would be detrimental to you. So if I made any changes, I'd be pushing things back, not pushing things forward, and I promise you that. One other thing to keep in mind is that the quiz numbers don't always match up with the chapter numbers. So, for example, Chapter 3 on memory matches up with Quiz 4. So as a review, you can always find your quizzes and exams in the Quiz Exam tab here. They're all listed. But you can also go into that course content and you can go to the memory chapter, and then here you'll find the link for Quiz 4 for memory. So even though it's Chapter 3, it's Quiz 4. So you want to make sure that you're always following your course calendar and you're using the available tools that you have here for you in Blackboard. Okay, at the end of the syllabus, you have the description of the constructivism theory paper. I'm going to allow you to read through this yourself instead of walking through it. However, if you have any questions, please let me know. And you can also reference the constructivist theory paper video that will walk through this in more detail. So I do have that available to you also. That concludes the walkthrough of the syllabus and of the course. Please let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me an email, call, stop by my office hours. I really look forward to working with you guys this semester. Best of luck.